I'm Steph,
I'm Casey.
and I'm going to be the therapist today. We are going to be talking about substance abuse disorder and Gestalt Theory. This is Casey's third session with me, and the reason for her visit was because she cannot get clean no matter how many times she tries, and she does it all.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll start. Welcome back, Casey. How are you doing today?
I'm good, I guess.
Last time we met, I gave you some homework. How did that go?
It's been okay. I've tried to be more aware of my anger, and I counted to 10 before acting on it, when a situation happened.
Yeah.
I counted to 10. But, I mean, it doesn't work all the time.
Yeah. I noticed when you were talking about anger, you said the word anger and your fists clenched up. Do that again.
Anger.
How does that feel?
Like, I'm angry, and, like, I don't know, I kind of, like, want to punch someone.
Who would you want to punch?
Oh, God, that's a list. I want to punch my dad. He's, like, the real reason that I'm like this. Like, I believe that. And he was an angry drunk, just like I am now.
What are you experiencing now as you talk about that?
I don't know. I guess, like, anger. And I feel it. But I'm trying not to be angry.
What would happen if you got angry? I see that you shrugged your shoulders. Do that again. What does that mean to you when you shrug your shoulders? Put that into words.
I don't know. I'm trying to think about it.
It sounds like when something negative comes up and you have that negative emotion, that you try to think more about it, and so you push those feelings away.
I guess, yeah.
Let's try an exercise. This is called the empty chair, and I want you to imagine that your dad is sitting in this chair. And so if he was sitting in this chair right now, what would you say to him?
I wouldn't say anything because I don't like talking to my dad.
You clenched your fists again when you said your dad. Do that again. And what would that clenched fist say to your dad? Or what would it say if it had a voice?
I want to punch my dad.
Replace it with I. Oh. Okay. Tell your dad why you're so angry.
I want to punch my dad for everything that he has done. I'm so angry. I'm so angry. And I just really want to get high. And I just can't believe that you were never there, especially when I needed you. And you just never showed up, and when you did, you were wasted or shit-faced. And you were just shitty and, like, a terrible example as a dad. Terrible.
What was that experience like for you?
I'm still angry.
You say that you're angry, but it also looks like you're about to cry.
I guess. But I really don't want to cry. I'm trying not to.
What would happen if you cried?
Crying is a sign of weakness.
And who taught you that?
My dad. Well, he didn't really teach me. I kind of just watched him when he was around. And my mom, I guess. She never cried.
So it sounds like this experience made you feel sad and angry. Is that right?
Yeah.
And where do you feel those emotions in your body?
My stomach, like the pit.
As you said, your stomach, you rub your stomach. Do that movement again. What does that feel like?
I guess it's like a feeling of comfort.
Can you think of another time you felt comforted like that?
Maybe like when I was able to escape it with friends. Just telling that it's okay.
Have you been able to escape that recently, like with your friends? Have you been able to be with your friends?
I'm in rehab.
Oh.
my rehab, I guess being here, them as friends, you know, support systems.
That's good that you've built some support systems while you've been here.
Yeah.
Well, I think our session is almost over, but before you leave, I'm going to give you some homework. I want you to continue to think about things before you're angry, before you act like when you're angry, and also like think about when you clench your fist, like what that means to you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll see you next time.
Okay.
Yay!
Okay. That was our beautiful session.
So we chose Gestalt therapy with the substance abuse community because we felt that Gestalt therapy was very helpful in the client being present and in the here and now, especially since a lot of this population seems to think about the past a lot or are concerned about their goals. So we thought that was important.
Also, that they are kind of detached necessarily. Their body language and what they are saying may not be together. So, just being able to focus on like the different ways of portraying an answer and bringing them back to the body and making them recognize how that felt. Should make this bigger.
And we use this theory in the session. By first, we talked about homework. So Casey had homework recently, and then brought in that homework to talk about in the session. There was a lot of like body awareness and exaggeration of movements. We also tried the empty chair exercise, and then there was a lot of like trying to be present in the here and now.
So, compare the use of the theory you selected with another theory from this quarter. So, we thought about motivational interviewing, how it's very goal-oriented and specific ways how to approach that, which is good, but during the time of where a client is within rehab, it is really important to focus on the here and now, especially since they do bring a lot of trauma with them within the past, and being able to confront that now may be too overwhelming to start thinking of like goal-oriented things from the get-go.
Were there any multicultural
Yes.
considerations? Yes. So this population has a lot of like different, it can be a variety of people who are involved in this population, from like really old people to really young people, lots of different races and ethnicities. And in some ethnicities, they might believe that like even just therapy in general is will help them, because they'll probably want to turn to religion or like their family. So that's something to consider.
So then strengths and limitations of this approach, like previously said, the here and now is very important to really focus on why they're here, how they're going to get help, and like what they're feeling, instead of really focusing on like the goals necessarily in the beginning. But a limitation to this could be due to like the health insurance or just insurance, that usually it's like a 30-day stay, and by the time like they do kind of make like a breakthrough or have like an aha moment, they usually have to go, and it's very abrupt.
So that's a limitation, but it's also kind of a strength, because this theory is like direct, so it gets to places faster. And then another strength, as we mentioned earlier, is body awareness, because as Casey said earlier, there's a disconnect between like the body and like what they are saying.
How and why could you incorporate this with your cat specialty? So we both are in art, and sometimes when you're creating art, what is not said can be seen within the art, as well as if it's like a big space, they could use their whole body to create the work.
Okay. Ta-da!